to 7 minutes for the speech and 2 to 3 minutes for question and answer period.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Modi. Fellow Toastmasters, in today's report, I'd like to provide the information of election judge, and I would like to encourage every one of you to be or continue to be the election judges who serve the community, to support the voters with accuracy, integrity, and dignity. The information here has been connected from the website 777vote.org, which is the Board of Election website of Montgomery County. It's also from this election judge manual and my personal experience. I will explain the voting situation in Maryland first. Give me 1 second. Okay. I live in Maryland. So this is the map of the Maryland voting. There are 8 congressional districts in this state, but besides that, there's also state level voting. And I will explain the information of this form. So in Maryland, on the left side, you will find a lot of activities. People may change the address. They may change the name. They may change the party affiliation. There are a lot of changes. So this is in March 2016. There has been 28,000 changes. And on the right side, you can see the total active registration. We have the information from every county. The total active voters, the number is 3,815,000. There's so many voters in this state, and we need people to serve them. Besides the professional board of election employees, they also try to recruit a lot of volunteers. So every year, some people, they come back again and again to help the community. But at the same time, I learned from the Montgomery County Council, City Council, that every year they recruit about 1,200 new volunteers. They send the mail, they spread the news according to word of mouth, and they also try to present this information through YouTube and through a lot of, like they go to the auditorium, they ask members to share their experience like me. So an election worker is a registered Maryland voter who volunteered to assist the voter on the election day. The primary election day is April 26th, which is next Tuesday, and the general election day is in November. So to be an election worker, which is called election judge in Maryland state, you must be registered in Maryland. You need to be at least 17 years old. Actually, for the kids, for our next generation, they can still help, but they won't be the election judge. They are called the future voters. And as a parent, you can take a young kids to help as well, and they can get some credit for the community service. And the election judge need to speak English, and they will get paid. They will pay $150 a day for the work and $30 for the training. And this is the Board of Election website of Montgomery County, Maryland. So all election workers are required to complete 2 stages of trainings. The first stage was done online. Everyone needs to go finish, read the whole manual. This is actually available online. There's a lot of information. I think I spent maybe almost 1 hour to go through everything. There's a quiz, and then after that you will receive an email. In the email, you will be notified about the stage 2 training, which is in person and hands-on. The hands-on training class vary in length of time by position, and most classes are completed in less than one day. Actually, I went there. It took me about 2 hours. So I will be a closing judge next Tuesday in a high school which is close to Silver Spring. And there will be multiple different roles for the election judges. On election day, there will be chief judges, the voting operation judges, opening judges, and the graders report to their assigned voting precinct at 6 o'clock. I will be a closing judge, so I can be there at 6:30 p.m., but I will stay quite late. And the team of judges will be dismissed by the chief judges once all the closing duties and the documentation have been have been done. So I encourage you to see more information about this election judge from the website. And here are some of my thoughts. To be an election judge is a very good chance to serve your community. I noticed that in every step of the election, there will be 2 persons. They help each other, and they remind each other and also watch each other. When there's if there's anything urgent going on during the election, you never know what will happen. So they have very good security mechanism, and we need a good, responsible citizen to help to support the voters with accuracy, integrity, and dignity. And while you serve the community, you learn the process. So we can make sure the process of the voting of city, state, and the federal government will be done in integrity, and also what is government officials, they can do the good stewardship for the people. So conclusion, I recommend you to be an election judge. To apply online, you can visit 777vote.org. And next, we're going to have a 2 to 3 minutes question and answer session. Do any of you have a question? Yes, Asha?
So, I always wondered, it's a very noble cause to be a part of the election process, integrity, honesty, and it's a good citizenship. But I always wondered whether federal government employees can work for the election process.
Well, that's a very good question. I think you help the election as a person to help the community. It's not a political activity that you are support any of the party. As the election judge, you are not there as a Republican or Democratic party member. You are there as a community member. So I also saw some of the advertisement that when you are in your workplace, you are not supposed to do all the political campaign. That's just not right. But in your spare time, when you are not at work, I think it's a very good practice to.
It's not covered under the Hatch Act?
No.
No?
Okay. Yes.
It's interesting because incidentally my wife also signed up as an election volunteers in Fairfax County, Virginia. So now you are doing it, so maybe next year, next election I may do it. But I'm always wondering, whenever I go to polling station, I wonder how many people are working on a particular day at each precinct.
Well, there are not. I think there would be at least
About 20.
50,
About 20.
20.
20.
I've been an election judge. They have also one thing. They have to have an equal number of registered Democrats and registered other, or if it's in a heavily Republican district, registered Republican, equal number of others. You have to. That is one thing to. Now you don't know specifically whether the person you're working next to is a Democrat or a Republican, but you do. But they do. The chief judges. There are two chief judges, and one will be a Democrat and one a Republican.
Exactly. As the election judge, you are not supposed to show people that what your party affiliation is. You are there just as a volunteer to help the chief judge to make sure the election process will be done in a right good way. Okay. Yes. One last question.
I'm going to be here this Tuesday to vote, but I know I will not be here in November, the general election. What is the date that, when we go to vote on Tuesday, can we get paperwork from the people there working there to get early vote, sign up for early voting for the November election?
Yeah, I think for November election, it would be the same. There would be about, for primary election, I know there are about a whole week for you to do the early vote.
Okay, but they would paperwork be supplied?
Oh, you cannot take the paperwork out. Everything is so secure there. So.
No, but I don't mean take the actual voting thing home, but is there a flyer explaining the process or how the dates? Would the people?
Can she register for early voting?
Yeah, would they give
there?
information about registering? Is there a flyer they would
I
hand
think
out?
it's available both from the paperwork and also from the website. There's very
It's on the
detailed
website.
information
Okay.
from the website. Okay, now I will
I think
return.
one more
next.
question Lee wanted to ask.
You have one more? Yes.
Oh, well, a quick question is how on earth did you manage to read that huge book in an hour?
Well, I just skimmed. I want to read everything, so just some important points.
Other question I had is, whenever I go into a voting booth, there are always people I've never heard of. And what am I supposed to do? Just
Well, that's a
ignore
great
them?
question. There's a website 411vote.org. So if you go there, you can find the information of the candidates. But I think it's more important to know about these candidates in advance. You can watch them, like for example, Montgomery County community TV show, and there was a meeting for the Chinese community. I think more than 10 candidates who were try to win the election for the congressman. All of them, they went to the same meeting. So if you go there, you can talk with all these people. You know them immediately. So that is the best chance. So if there's any chance like that, I recommend you to go. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll return next time to Cambodia.
I would now like to ask the second speaker to come to the podium.